हरे कृष्णा शोभा माता जी, गरबा गोवली माता जी। हरे कृष्णा। लेट्स स्टार्ट विद कीर्तन। ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशितारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेव जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय जगद्गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपदा निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय।
हरे कृष्णा माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
प्रणाम। Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. So let's continue with our reading of this very beautiful scripture, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We are on Antya Lila, chapter 2, and we'll continue from verse number 88 onwards today. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय चंद्र जय 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 श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा। श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय। श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। हरे कृष्णा। So in this section, we were reading about Bhagwan Acharya. In 87th verse, we read that Bhagwan Acharya was preparing a very nice varieties of rice and vegetables at home because he had invited Lord Chaitanya to have prasad at his place. So we'll continue from 88 onward. Sumati Mataji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम स्वामी जी। तारा पिता विषयी बड़ा शतानंद खाना विषया विमुखाचार्य वैराग्य प्रदाना। Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavan Acharya's father, whose name was Shatananda Khan, was an expert statesman, whereas Bhagavan Acharya was not at all interested in the management of the state. Indeed, he was almost in the renounced order of life. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So we have read that how Bhagavan Acharya was a very great devotee of Lord Chaitanya, and he used to invite Lord Chaitanya many times to his home. He would cook for the Lord. And here we are reading that even though his father was an expert statesman, Shadananda Khan, Bhagavan Acharya was not at all interested in all these things, and he was almost in the renounced order of life. Okay. Now let's go to the next shlok, verse 89th. Uma Devi Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। गोपाल भट्टाचार्य नामा तांड्र चोट भाई कसी ते वेदांत पदी केला तनरताई। Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavan Acharya's brother, whose name was Gopala Bhattacharya, had studied Vedanta philosophy at Banaras and had then returned to Bhagavan Acharya's home. Shall I read, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. During those days and also at the present, Vedanta philosophy is understood through the commentary of Shankaracharya, which is known as the Sariraka Bhashya. Shariraka Bhashya. Thus, it appears that Gopala Bhattacharya, the younger brother of Bhagavan Acharya, had studied Vedanta according to the way of the Shariraka Bhashya, which expounds the Mayavada philosophy of the impersonalists. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Bhagwan Acharya's brother, Gopal Bhattacharya, had studied Vedanta philosophy in Kashi, in Banaras, and the commentary of Shankaracharya, Shariraka Bhashya commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, that is largely accepted by the Mayavadis, and this is what he had learned when he was in Kashi, and now he has come. So let's see what happens. Karpagavali Mataji, 90th.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandapranam. 90 Mataji, 90.
Yes, Mataji, 90.
Acharya Dahari Prabhu Pade Milaila Antaryami Prabhu Chitte Sugana Paila. Translation, the translation by Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavan Acharya took his brother to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But the Lord, knowing that Gopala Bhattacharya was a Mayavadi philosopher, could not get much happiness from meeting him. Thank you, Mataji. Dandapranam.
Hare Krishna, sorry, there was a power cut. Mataji, did you read it fully?
Yes, Mataji. Shall I repeat it? Translation? Translation,
No.
Bhagavan Acharya.
But you had read it fully, right?
Yes, Mataji. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, so Mahaprabhu obviously is very revered by Bhagwan Acharya. So naturally, when his brother comes, then he would want his brother to meet Mahaprabhu, right? But Mahaprabhu is not very happy to meet Bhagwan Acharya's brother because he is a Mayavadi philosopher, and Mahaprabhu is just filled with love for Krishna, and Mayavadi philosophy. We have always heard that there is so much contradiction, there is so much denial of the personality of Krishna that anyone who is attached to the Lord in personal service is never going to like this kind of a philosophy. So that is why Mahaprabhu is not very pleased to meet Gopal Bhattacharya, the brother of Bhagwan Acharya. It'll take a little time for me to share the screen again. So I'll read 91 on my own. Okay, please bear with me. Okay, so we have read 90 and now 91. Acharya Sambandhe Bahye. Mataji, do you have the book? Shubha
Yeah, I
Mataji?
can read from the other.
I also have
Please
my
read.
Goswami ki Jai, Chaitanya Charitamrita 2.91. Acharya Sambandhe Bhaye Kare Kritya Bhasha Krishna Bhakti Dina Prabhura Nahaya Ullasa. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu derives no happiness from meeting one who is not a pure devotee of Krishna. Thus, because Gopala Bhattacharya was a Mayavadi scholar, the Lord felt no jubilation in meeting him. Nevertheless, because Gopala Bhattacharya was related to Bhagavan Acharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu feigned pleasure in seeing him. Should I start the screen? Starting Mataji, share the screen.
No, Mataji, 1 minute. My power is back, so I'll share from my laptop. By then, we'll just discuss
Hari bol.
verse 8. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
So, Mahaprabhu derives no happiness from meeting one who is not a pure devotee of Krishna, because devotees, for them, what is the pleasure? The pleasure is worshipping Krishna, talking about Krishna, and discussing all the pastimes of Lord Krishna, right? That is actually the pleasure for devotees. So Mahaprabhu, he derives no happiness from meeting Bhagwan Acharya's brother, but he feigned pleasure. That means he just, outwardly he pretends to be pleased because Gopal Bhattacharya was related to Bhagwan Acharya. So that was the only reason why Mahaprabhu was cordial, but definitely not happy to meet him. Okay? Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, really sorry for the interruption. Yeah, let's move forward to 92. Padma Mataji.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. स्वरूप भूषणी रे आचार्य कहे यार दीने वेदांत पदिया गोपाल ऐशा चे एखाने. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Bhagwan Acharya said to Swarupa Damodar, Gopala, my younger brother has returned to my home, having concluded his study of Vedanta philosophy. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So Bhagwan Acharya is next talking to Swarup Damodar Goswami and telling him that my brother has returned home after studying Vedanta philosophy. Now let's see what he says in verse 93. Yeah. Arun Gupta Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी. तबे मेली ऐसा सुनी भाष्य ये इहार स्थाने प्रेमा क्रोधा करी स्वरूपा बलया बचाने. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Bhagwan Acharya requested Swarup Damodar Goswami to hear from Gopala the commentary upon Vedanta. Swarup Damodar, however, somewhat angry because of love, spoke as follows. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, Bhagwan Acharya requests Swarup Damodar Goswami that you please hear the commentary, Vedanta commentary from my brother. But Swarup Damodar is displeased by this. He gets a little angry. And because of love, he gets angry because devotees do not like to indulge in this kind of conversations, the Mayavadi kind of conversations. Anyways, time is so limited. The time to worship Krishna itself is so limited. Why waste this time talking about useless things, and especially Mayavad philosophy is going to ruin one's bhakti to Lord Krishna. So Swarup Damodar Goswami says in verse 94, Uma Devi Mataji.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. This Bhagwan Acharya did not know that Mayavadi Lakshmi will not be entertained here by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was unaware.
Sorry, Mataji, he did not know what?
No, this Bhagwan Acharya, he did not know that he cannot entertain his brother who is a Mayavadi, and how can he introduce him to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Yeah, Mataji, we'll read in the upcoming verses that he actually did not think that this is going to be a problem. We'll read that
Okay.
in the
Yeah.
upcoming verses. Yeah, Uma Devi Mataji,
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Hare Krishna.
बुद्धि बुद्धि भ्रष्ट हैला तुम्हारा गोपाले राग सांगे मायावाद सुनी भारे उपाजिला रंगे। Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. You have lost your intelligence in the association of Gopala, and therefore you are eager to hear the Mayavada philosophy. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Sarup Damodaran Swami is quite upset and he says that you have lost your intelligence and that is why you are eager to even, you were thinking about hearing of this Mayavad philosophy. So now Sarup Damodar Goswami explains why it is so harmful and why we are so against hearing of this philosophy. So 95, Arun Gupta Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mother.
Hare Krishna.
वैष्णव होया रेबा शरीर का भाष्य सुने सेव्या सेवक भाव छाड़ी आपा नारेश्वरा माने. Translation: When a Vaishnava listens to the Shariraka Bhasya, the Mayavad commentary upon the Vedanta Sutra, he gives up the Krishna conscious attitude that the Lord is the master and the living entity is his servant. Instead, he considers himself the Supreme Lord. Shall I read purport also, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The philosophers known as Kevala Advaitavadis generally occupy themselves with hearing the Shariraka Bhasya, a commentary by Shankaracharya advocating that one impersonally consider oneself the Supreme Lord. Such Mayavadi philosophical commentaries upon the Vedanta Sutra are simple imaginary. But there are other commentaries on the Vedanta Sutra. The commentary by Srila Ramanujacharya known as Shri Bhashya establishes the Vishisht Advaitavad philosophy. Similarly, in the Brahma Sampradaya, Madhvacharya's Purna Prajna Bhashya establishes Shuddh Dvaitavad. In the Kumar Sampradaya or Nimbarka Sampradaya, Sri Nimbarka establishes the philosophy of Dvait Advaitvad. In the Parijat Saurabh Bhashya, and in the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya or Rudra Sampradaya, which comes from Lord Shiva, Vishnu Swami has written a commentary called Sarvajana Bhasya, which establishes Shuddh Advaitavad. A Vaishnava should study the commentaries on the Vedanta Sutra written by the four Sampradaya Acharyas, namely Sri Ramanujacharya, Sri Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami, and Nimbarka. For these commentaries are based upon the philosophy that the Lord is the master and all the living entities, and that all living entities are his eternal servants. One interested in studying Vedanta philosophy properly must study these commentaries, especially if he is a Vaishnava. These commentaries are always adored by Vaishnavas. The commentary by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati is elaborately given in the Adi Lila, chapter 7, text 101. The Mayavad commentary, Shariraka Bhasya, is like poison for a Vaishnava. It should not be touched at all. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur remarks that even a Mahabhagavat or highly elevated devotee who has surrendered himself unto the lotus feet of Krishna sometimes falls down from pure devotional service if he hears the Mayavad philosophy of Shariraka Bhasya. This commentary should therefore be shunned by all Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So in this verse, Swarup Damodar Goswami is expressing his his disinterest and completely how much he's against the discussion of any kind of Mayavad philosophy, any kind of discussion on the Shariraka Bhashya, etc. And he says that when a Vaishnav listens to the Shariraka Bhashya, which is the Mayavadi commentary upon the Vedanta Sutra, then the Krishna conscious attitude goes away. What is the Krishna conscious attitude? Understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Lord and we are all the servants of the Lord. Now, this attitude goes away, and instead the person starts thinking of themselves as the Supreme Lord, that I am God. Different type of philosophies come, that you are God, I am God, everyone is God, or I am God, and some people say that, yes, I am God under illusion sometimes. We forget that we are God. These kind of many different commentaries, many different kind of interpretations come where one starts thinking themselves to be the master and not understanding who actually is the supreme Lord. So this is what the Mayavadi philosophers think. And Srila Prabhupada, in his purport, very beautifully tells us from all the four Pramanic Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Kumar Sampradaya, and our Gaudiya Vaishnava, Brahma Sampradaya. He is naming all the different wonderful commentaries which are authorized in all these different Sampradayas. So, why should one go and read Shariraka Bhashya, which is the Mayavadi commentary? So Prabhupada is telling us all the Vaishnav commentaries on Vedanta Sutra. We must hear and read only in the Sampradaya. And this is something that when from the moment we come into this movement, there are some things which are told to us again and again, right? That we are the soul, we are not this body, Krishna is the supreme Lord, and Radharani is the energy of Krishna, and then we have to stay away from Mayavadis. Now, why are these things again and again told? Because it is so important to protect our faith. Just like parents, they are so concerned about the child. Now, when the child goes out, we tell them so many times, don't talk to strangers, don't take anything from the strangers, don't go outside the gate of the community, or don't eat anything which is given by a stranger, or be very careful on the road. Why do we keep saying, and we keep saying these things again and again? Because we are so concerned about the well-being of our children. And in the same way, Srila Prabhupada, our acharyas are so concerned about our well-being in the Vaishnava movement, because they know that these words, we have not read Shariraka Bhashya, and we should not read, but they know that the words are so flowery, the words are so, they must be written in such a nice language that when someone whose faith is not very strong, when they read something like this, they may get swayed away. Even now, there are so many speakers on social media that when you just hear them, because their language is so nice, we start to think that maybe what they are saying is actually true because of the way it is presented. Now, Shariraka Bhashya is written by Shankaracharya. Who is Shankaracharya? He is Lord Shiva. So we can imagine how powerful that must be. But it was required at that particular time. There was a reason why Shankaracharya came, and there was a reason why he wrote it. We don't have to go and test our bhakti, and let's see, why we are so strong. Let us see. It's not going to harm me. I'm still going to be a bhakta. These kind of things we should not do. And that is why it is so strongly presented here. Prabhupada is saying so strongly that one interested in studying Vedanta philosophy properly must study these commentaries. That means commentaries of our acharyas from the Vaishnav Sampradaya. And Prabhupada says that the Mayavad commentary, Shariraka Bhashya, is like poison for a Vaishnava. It's going to kill our bhakti, so that's why it should not be touched at all. Therefore, it should be shunned by all the Vaishnavas. These points are told to us again and again so that they stay very strongly in our minds. And even now, when we are in an age where we are exposed to so much of content, whether it is through WhatsApp or through social media, there is so much content coming our way. We have to be very careful who are we hearing from and what books we are reading, because we are still like the children. At least I can speak for myself, where we still are developing our faith. So we should never risk going into any kind of a conversation, or any attending any lectures, hearing any lectures, reading any content which is not coming in the sampradaya. It can be very harmful for our faith. Okay, that's why Prabhupada is warning us very, very strongly, and Srila Sarup Damodar Goswami is warning us against it. Okay, yeah. Next is 96. Krishnamurti Prabhu, please read. Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Hare Krishna.
महाभागवत ये कृष्ण प्राणधान यारा मायावाद श्रवणे चित्ता अवश्य फिरे तानरा Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. The Mayavada philosophy presents such a jugglery of words that even a highly elevated devotee who has accepted Krishna as his life and soul changes his decision when he reads the Mayavada commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. So that's what's mentioned here, that the language, it's there is a jugglery of words, and even a very highly elevated devotee who has accepted Krishna as his life and soul. I mean, even after reaching such a level, their decision can change when they read the Mayavadi commentary. So it is very, very risky, and we have to stay away from it. Okay. Next, let's read 97. आचार्य कहे आमा सबरा कृष्ण निष्ठा चित्ते आमा सबरा मन भाष्य नारे फिराइते. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. In spite of Swarup Damodar's protest, Bhagwan Acharya continued. We are all fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna with our hearts and souls. Therefore, the Shariraka Bhashya cannot change our minds. So, Bhagwan Acharya, he is not really thinking that this can be such a big risk, because he is saying that we are all anyway fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna. Our heart and soul rests there. So, just hearing about Shariraka Bhasha is not going to change our mind. So that's why he's thinking that there's no harm in just having a casual discussion. So let's see what Srila Sarup Damodar Goswami replies. Yeah. Uma Devi Mataji, 98.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी.
Hare Krishna.
स्वरूप कहे तथापि मायावाद श्रवणे चित ब्रह्म माया मिथ्या यही मात्रा सुने. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Swarupa Damodara replied, nevertheless, when we hear the Mayavada philosophy, we hear that Brahman is knowledge and that the universe of Maya is false, but we gain no spiritual understanding. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So Sarup Damodar Goswami is telling him, trying to make him understand what is the problem. He's saying that, okay, you are saying that we are all attached to Lord Krishna and all that, that's right. But when we hear Mayavad philosophy, what are we going to hear? That Brahman is knowledge, this universe is false. They say, na, this Jagat Mithya, everything is false. But he's saying that there is no spiritual understanding that we are going to gain from it. Okay? He is going to further explain his point in verse 99. Krishnamurti Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. जीव ज्ञान कल्पित ईश्वर सकल अज्ञान यहर श्रवण भक्तरा पाते मन प्राण. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. The Mayavadi philosopher tries to establish that the living entity is only imaginary and that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is under the influence of Maya. Hearing this kind of commentary breaks the heart and life of a devotee. Can I read purport, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Purport by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Sarupa Damodara Goswami wanted to impress upon Bhagavan Acharya that even though someone firmly fixed in devotion to Krishna's service might not be deviated by hearing the Mayavada Bhashya, and that Bhashya is nevertheless full of impersonal words and ideas, such as Brahman, which represent knowledge but which is impersonal. The Mayavada states that the world created by Maya is false and that actually there is no living entity but only one spiritual effulgence. They further say that God is imaginary, that people think of God only because of ignorance, and that when the supreme absolute truth is befooled by the external energy, Maya, he becomes a jiva or living entity. Upon hearing all the nonsensical ideas from the non-devotee, a devotee is greatly afflicted, as if this heart and soul were broken. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. So Srila Sarup Damodar Goswami is explaining that what do the Mayavadi philosophers try to establish? They said that the living entity is imaginary. They said that the Supreme Lord is covered under Maya. I mean, doesn't make any sense at all. The Maya is Krishna's energy. How can Krishna come under his Maya Shakti and, under the influence of Maya? Then Prabhupada is explaining that The Mayavadis say that the world created by Maya is false. Actually, there is no living entity. There is just one spiritual effulgence. They say God is imaginary. They think that, the people think of God only because of ignorance. And that when the supreme absolute truth is befooled by his external energy, Maya, then he becomes a jiva or a living entity. That's what they say, that yes, everyone is God. We have just forgotten that we are God. We are under Maya. That's why we have forgotten. All these kind of nonsensical ideas come. And so, Prabhupada is saying that when a devotee hears these things, they become greatly affected, as if their heart and soul were broken, because for this goes completely against what a devotee believes and learns and tries to follow. So that's why it is very, very harmful and very heartbreaking for a devotee to read and hear these. Go to the next text, 100. Shobha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam Mataji, Krishna Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai. Sloka number 100. Lajjabaya Pana Acharya Maunaha Ila Aradhina Gopalera Deshe Pata Ila. Translation Daisy Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thus, Bhagwan Acharya, greatly ashamed and fearful, remained silent. The next day, he asked Gopala Bhattacharya to return to his own district. Haribol. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is the answer, Padma Mataji, that he was not thinking that this is going to be a big problem. But when Sarup Damodar Goswami explains that it is actually a big problem, we should not indulge in any kind of such conversations. And then he understands and he feels, Bhagwan Acharya feels greatly ashamed and fearful. He remains silent and then he asks his brother, Gopal Bhattacharya, to go back to his own place.
Mataji, why I asked you was because in Dubai we had a group, we used to go for this Shiksha classes, So from there, two elevated devotees, from the group who had so much knowledge. But for about 2 months they didn't come. Suddenly I met them on the road. They said, "Oh, we have joined this Vedanta classes." We were a bit shocked. That time I didn't know much about Vedanta, so I asked my Shiksha Guru. She said, "Don't even talk to them. Don't even talk to them because this is all false philosophy. I am God, you're God, everything is God." But they used to praise a lot. Every time I meet them, they used to praise a lot. I said, "Please, I don't want to hear all this." I used to turn the other way and go. So that's why I asked you, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. So that's what we are learning through this interaction, that Bhagwan Acharya initially did not think that it's going to be a problem. That's what many people may do. That okay, what's the harm? Let's just hear it once.
Yeah.
But that's what Swarup Damodar Goswami is explaining, that it is very harmful. We should never indulge, like what your Shiksha Guru explained to you, that don't even talk to them. It's very, very risky. Yeah.
Because Mataji, they said that they have like a very high philosophy. So I don't know what philosophy they were preaching. So she said,
Yes,
let that be,
Mataji.
it's all false philosophy. Don't even talk to them.
True, Mataji. And lot of people will say lots of things, Mataji. Many people
Yeah.
say that ISKCON is giving very basic knowledge. There are other organizations. We can get a very high level knowledge there. We are
Yes.
getting basic knowledge here. Let's hear from them and get very high level knowledge. Prabhupada has given us the highest level of knowledge. We should have this faith that there is no lacking. Prabhupada has given from very basic to the highest level of knowledge. Everything is there in our movement. We don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to hear anything, read anything. I mean, really, if we think that, let's start hearing other people's lectures. Have we heard all the lectures in ISKCON? That itself is enough for a lifetime. Have we read all
Yes.
of Prabhupada's books? No, first let's do that. That itself is going to take a lifetime. So we should be very, very careful, Mataji,
Yes,
not to
Mataji.
indulge. Yeah.
Even the Bhagavad Gita, Mataji, the other books, written by some other writers,
Yeah.
they say it's very complicating, can't understand. I said, take Prabhupada's, books and read and see. And after they say, yeah, these so simple, he has explained so nicely. I managed to push 3 books like that. So now one of them, she has joined our group.
That's wonderful,
Like that.
Mataji. Yeah, very good for book distribution. Yeah, that's the position we should take, Mataji. Just stick to our parampara. That's it.
But that's true, Mataji. Prabhupada's book's very easy to understand, at least. The way he has written such a simple language.
Correct,
But those
Mataji.
books
He
are
has not
beautiful.
compromised, without compromising on the philosophy. He has made it very relevant for today's time. So he's made it very easy for everyone to understand. Yes. Jai Srila Prabhu. Yeah. Mataji, you want to read 101? Padma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I?
Okay, yeah. Sure, Mataji. Please read.
एकदिनाचार्य प्रभुरे कैलानि मंत्रणा घरे भाता करी करे विविध व्यंजना. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One day Bhagavan Acharya invited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to dine at his home. Thus he was preparing rice and various types of vegetables. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, Bhagavan Acharya invited Lord Chaitanya to his home to dine, and he was preparing rice and various type of vegetables. So, let's see what happens further. Padma Mataji, you want to read?
Yeah, Mataji. छोटा हरिदास नाम प्रभु कीर्तनिया तारे कहे नाचार्य दाकिया अनिया. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A devotee named Chota Haridasa used to sing for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhagavan Acharya called him to his home and spoke as follows. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So, what is the title of this chapter? Do you remember? Anyone remembers?
The segment of Junior Haridas.
Junior Haridas.
Yeah, so it's about Junior Haridas, what happens. But till now, Junior Haridas had not come, right? So now in 102, we are reading that Bhagwan Acharya had invited Mahaprabhu to his home. So the Kirtanya in the group, Mahaprabhu's Kirtanya Bhakt, his name was Chota Haridas or Junior Haridas. So Bhagwan Acharya called him to his home, and let's see what he tells Chota Haridas. This is 103. Uma Devi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna.
मोरा नाम सिकी महितिरा भगिनी स्थाने गिया शुक्ला चौला एका माना अनाहा मागिया. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please go to sister of Siki Mahiti. In my name, ask her for a mana of white rice and bring it here. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In India, Shukla Kaula white rice is also called Atapa Chaula, or rice that has not been boiled before being threshed. Another kind of rice called Siddha Chaula, brown rice, is boiled before being threshed. Generally, first-class fine white rice is required for offerings to the deity. Thus, Bhagavan Acharya asked Chota Haridasa or Junior Haridasa, a singer in the assembly of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to get some of this rice from the sister of Siki Mahiti. A mana is a standard of measurement in Orissa for rice and other food grains. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So he wants to serve the best kind of rice to Lord Chaitanya. So he asks Junior Haridas to go to Shiki Mahiti's sister and get one mana of white rice and to bring it there. Now, Shiki Mahiti was a devotee from Orissa. He was one of Mahaprabhu's most intimate associates. And Shiki Mahiti and his sister Madhvi, we are going to read about Madhvi now. They are actually the Radharani's servants in the Nitya Lila, and their names respectively are Raga Lekha and Kalakeli. This is mentioned in Gaur Ganadesh Deepika by Kavi Karnapura. Okay. So let's read 104 now. Krishnamurti Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
माहितिर भागिनी से ये नाम माधव देशी माधव देवी वृद्ध तपस्विनी आर परम वैष्णवी. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Siki Mahiti's sister was named Madhavi Devi. She was an elderly lady who always performed austerities. She was very advanced in devotional service. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. So Shiki Mahiti's sister Madhvi Devi, she's a Param Vaishnavi, very advanced devotee in, and she's, as I mentioned, she's one of Radharani's servants. Okay. Yeah, let's read 105. Karpagavali Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, thank you, Mataji. प्रभु प्रभु लेके करी रे राधिका गाना जगत तेरा मध्य पात्र पात्र साधे दीन जना. Translation with Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted her as having formerly been an associate of Srimati Radharani. In the entire world, 3.5 people were his intimate devotees. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted her as having formerly been an associate of Srimati Radharani. She's a servant of Srimati Radharani. Okay, now let's read 106. Uma Devi Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी. स्वरूप गोसानी राय रमानंद सिकी माहिती तीना तांड्र भगिनी अर्थ जाना. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The three were Swarupa Damodara Goswami, Ramananda Raya, and Siki Mahiti, and the of a person was Siki Mahiti's sister. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Swarup Damodar Goswami is actually Lalita Sakhi, Ramanand Rai is Vishakha Sakhi, Shikhi Mahiti, and his sister. They are servants of Srimati Radharani. So, they are all eternal associates of Lord Krishna and Radharani. And they, like, there's so many other associates, they appear in Lord Chaitanya's Lila also. Next, 107, Krishnamurti Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Tandra Dani Tandula Magi Anila Haridasa Tandula Deki Acharyera Adhika Ullasa. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. After begging the rice from her, Junior Haridasa brought it to Bhagavan Acharya, who was very pleased to its quality. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So very good quality rice, and Bhagwan Acharya, because he wants to serve the best rice to Lord Chaitanya, so he's very happy to see that. Okay. Yeah. Next, 108, Uma Devi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Snehiranthila Prabhura Priya Ev Vejana Devula Prasada Adha Chaki Lembu. In great Mahaprabhu, he also obtained remnants of food from Lord Jagannatha and digestive aids such as ground ginger and also lime with salt. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. We are learning how beautifully, Bhagwan Acharya is making the preparations, and he is first of all cooking for the Lord himself also, and he is also getting the prasad from Jagannath temple, and also ginger, lime, salt. I think I've heard some devotees say that Prabhupada also used to say that when we serve prasadam first, lemon and salt, these things should be placed on the plate. Okay, so very nice, a very wonderful etiquette of serving a bhoga to the Lord. Okay. Yeah. Next 109, Padma Mataji.
Yeah. मध्याह्ने ऐश भोजन वसीला सालियाना देखी प्रभु आचार्य पुछिला. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. At noon, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to eat the offerings of Bhagavan Acharya, he first appreciated the fine rice and therefore questioned him. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the rice is of very good quality, very wonderfully cooked, and so Mahaprabhu is also very pleased by it, and he asks a question. It's a very meaningful question, and the answer is going to lead to, further advance the whole pastime. 110. उत्तम अन्न एत तंदुला कहा ते पाइला आचार्य कहे माधवी पाश मागिया नीला. So So the Lord is asking that where did you get such fine rice? And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that Bhagwan Acharya replies that I got it by begging from Madhvi Devi. Now then Mahaprabhu asks a question that, we'll read about in 130. Yes, 111. Uma Devi Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। प्रभु कहे कौन यही मगिया अनिला छोटा हरिदासेरा नामा आचार्य करहिला। Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked who had begged the rice and brought it back, Bhagwan Acharya mentioned the name of Junior Haridasa. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks that, who had gone actually to beg the rice, and Bhagwan Acharya says that it was Junior Haridas. Next, Krishnamurti Prabhu, 112.
Hare Krishna Mataji. अन्ना प्रासम सिया प्रभु भोजन करेला निज गृह ऐसी गोविंदेरे आज्ञा दीला. Translation by Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Praising the quality of the rice, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu partook of the prasadam. Then, after returning to his residence, he gave the following order to Govinda, his personal assistant. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So Mahaprabhu praises the rice, he takes the prasadam, comes back, and then he gives an instruction to Govinda, which is a very strong instruction. In 113, Mahaprabhu says, Aji haite mora agya paliba chota hari dase iha asite na diba. So Mahaprabhu says that from this day forward, do not allow Chota Haridas to come here. This very strong instruction Mahaprabhu gives. Next, 114, Uma Devi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dwara mana hela Haridasa duki hela mane ki lagiya dwara mana keha nahi jane. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When Junior Haridasa heard that he had been ordered not to approach Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was very unhappy. No one could understand why he had been ordered not to come. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji. So the reaction is expected. He's very upset, and the devotees are not able to understand why Mahaprabhu has given this instruction. So, next. Padma Mataji, 115.
Tina Dina Hilari Haridas Kare Upavasa Sarupadi Puchila Mahaprabhu Rapashe. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Haridasa fasted continuously for 3 days. Then Swarupa Damodara Goswami and other confidential devotees approached Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to inquire from him. Thank you, Mataji.
The devotees are very loving. They cannot just leave things as they are. So Haridas, and he's so upset that he's fasting for 3 days. And then Sarup Damodar Goswami is very close to Mahaprabhu, goes to Mahaprabhu, approaches him and inquires from him. 116, Krishnamurti Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
कोना अपराधा प्रभु कैला हरि दासा की लागे या द्वारा माना करे उपवासा. Translation by Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada. What great offenses has Junior Haridas committed? Why has he been forbidden to come to your door? He has now been fasting for 3 days. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, Sarup Damodar Goswami asks that he's been fasting for 3 days. Why have you forbidden him to come to you? What is the great offense? And then Mahaprabhu is going to reply. Next, Uma Devi Mataji, 117.
Hare Krishna Mataji. प्रभु कहे वैरागी करे प्रकृति संभाषणा देखिते न परुण आमी तहारा वदना. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord replied, I cannot tolerate seeing the face of a person who has accepted the renounced order of life, but who still talks intimately with a woman. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura comments that Saralata or simplicity is the first qualification of a Vaishnava, whereas duplicity or cunning behavior is a great offense against the principles of devotional service. As one advances in Krishna consciousness, one must gradually become disgusted with material attachment and thus become more and more attached to the service of the Lord. If one is not factually detached from material activities but still proclaims himself advanced in devotional service, he is cheating. No one will be happy to see such behavior. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So one should never be a pretender. And if one is not actually advanced, then they should not take to the renounced order and such kind of positions. So the Lord is saying that He cannot accept tolerate seeing the face of a person who has accepted the renounced order of life, but who still talks intimately with a woman. So Srila Prabhupada explains that how Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments that Saralta or simplicity is the first qualification of a Vaishnava. That means there should be no duplicity in our behavior. Otherwise, it's a great offense. This cunning behavior is a great offense against the principles of religion. And if one is not factually detached from material activities but still proclaims himself advanced in devotional service, then one is cheating and no one will be happy to see such a behavior. So one should be very simple and straightforward. There should be no duplicity in our behavior. Okay. Yeah. Next, Padma Mataji, 118.
दुर्वार इंद्रिय करे विषय ग्रहण धारवी प्रकृति हरे मुनेरपि मना. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So strongly do the senses adhere to the objects of their enjoyment that indeed a wooden statue of a woman attracts the mind of even a great saintly person. Purport, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Purport. The senses and the sense objects are so intimately connected that the mind of even a great saintly person is attracted to a wooden doll if it is attractively shaped like a young woman. The sense objects, namely form, sound, smell, taste, and touch, are always attractive for the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. Since the senses and sense objects are naturally intimately related, sometimes even a person claiming control over his senses remain always subject to the control of sense objects. The senses are impossible to control unless purified and engaged in the service of the Lord. Thus, even though a saintly person vows to control his senses, the senses are still sometimes perturbed by sense objects. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji. So the senses are very strong and they're always attached to the sense objects, and even a very advanced person can, as a saintly person, even their senses can sometimes get perturbed by sense objects. And there are so many examples of rishis, munis whose tapasya has been disturbed because one of the senses could not be controlled. So senses are very, very strong. And Prabhupada says that the senses are impossible to control unless purified and engaged in the service of the Lord. Okay? That is the way in which the senses can be controlled, not artificially, but they have to be purified and by engaging in the service of the Lord. Okay. Yeah. Next, Sumati Mataji,
Hare
119.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
मात्रा स्वश्रादुहित्रा वा न विविक्तासनो भवेत् बलवान् इन्द्रियग्रामो विद्वांसम् अपि कर्षति. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One should not sit closely with one's mother, sister, or daughter, for the senses are so strong that they may attract even a person advanced in knowledge. Purport. This verse appears in the Manu Samhita 2.215 and Srimad Bhagavatam 9.19.17. Hare Krishna.
Mataji. So, to bring this point out strongly, Mahaprabhu quotes this verse from Manu Samhita and Srimad Bhagavatam, where it is mentioned that even with one's mother, sister, or daughter, one should not sit closely because senses are so strong that they may attract even a person advanced in knowledge. And Srila Prabhupada, actually, we know he's a personal associate of Lord Krishna. He's a Nitya Vaishnav. So he cannot get, his senses can never get uncontrolled. But to show us, to give this example, to give this teaching. Even when Pishima used to come, his sister, Prabhupada would never talk to her alone. There would be always someone sitting in the room. So Prabhupada, imagine, he was taking care of these small, small things also. Through his behavior, he was giving these instructions so strongly. Okay. Yeah, let's read 120. Uma Devi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Kshudra Jiva Sabha Markata Vairagya Kariya Indriya Charana Bhule Prakriti Sambhashiya. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. There are many persons with little in their possession who accept the renounced order of life like monkeys. They go here and there, engaging in sense gratification and speaking intimately with women. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. One should strictly follow the regulative principles, namely, no illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, and no gambling. And in this way, one should make progress in spiritual life. If an unfit person sentimentally accepts vairagya or takes sannyasa, but at the same time remains attached to women, he is in a very dangerous position. His renunciation is called markata vairagya, or renunciation like that of a monkey. The monkey lives in the forest, eats fruit, and does not even cover itself with a cloth. In this way, it resembles a saint, but the monkey always thinks of female monkeys and sometimes keeps dozens of them for sexual intercourse. This is called Markata Vairagya. Therefore, one who is unfit should not accept the renounced order of life. One who accepts the order of sannyasa but again becomes agitated by sensual disturbances and talks privately with women is called Dharma Dhwaji or Dharma Kalanka, which means that he brings condemnation upon the religious order. Therefore, one should be extremely careful in this connection. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura explains the word markata to mean restless. A restless person cannot be steady. Therefore, he simply wanders about gratifying his senses just to get praise from others, to get cheap adoration from his followers or people in general. Such a person sometimes accepts the dress of a sannyasi and Babaji in the renounced order, but he cannot give up desires for sense gratification, especially for the association of women. Such a person cannot make advancement in spiritual life. There are 8 different kinds of sensual enjoyment with women, including talking about them, thinking about them. Thus, for a sannyasi, a person in the renounced order, talking intimately with women is a great offense. Sri Ramananda Raya and Srila Narottama Dasa Thakura actually achieved the most elevated stage of the renounced order, but those who imitate them, accepting them as ordinary human beings, fall under the influence of the material energy. For that is a great misunderstanding. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji. So the Lord is saying that there are many persons with little in their possession who accept sannyas just like monkeys. So Prabhupada explains that, a monkey lives in the forest, eats fruits, does not, even cover itself with a cloth, seems to be resembling a saint, but he's always thinking of female monkeys, and that is why it is this kind of a show renunciation is called Markata Vairagya. So Prabhupada is warning very much against that those who are unfit, who are not actually renounced, should never accept the renounced order of life externally. And he's telling us that there are so many people who have not given up the desires for sense gratification, especially for the association of women, but they accept the dress of a sannyasi or a babaji. And that is very, very wrong. And they intimately talk with women, and all those things are a very big offense. So Prabhupada is warning against this, as Mahaprabhu's point is in this verse, that this kind of markata vairagya or the renunciation of a monkey is very wrong. It is a very great offense, and one should be very careful to avoid that. So at 120, 2.120, we'll stop here. If there are any questions or any comments.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Just a few texts back, you are referring to some of these people as having in the spiritual world. That time my mobile was glitching a little bit. Can you please repeat that if you don't mind, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. So Shikhi Mahiti and his sister Madhvi, they were actually Raga Lekha and Kala Keli, Radharani's servants.
Okay.
That is what I was mentioning. And Sarup Damodar Goswami is Lalita Sakhi and Ramanand Rai is Vishakha Sakhi.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's all, no? And you didn't say anything about Chota Haridas. You didn't say that, no? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
What is chastisement?
Sorry, Mataji?
Chastisement. What is the meaning of it, Mataji?
Chastisement, it means scolding, correcting, disciplining.
Okay, okay. So the
Mataji.
Junior Haridasa is name of the boy.
Junior Haridas is the devotee, yeah, the Kirtaniya devotee. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the chastisement.
Yes. Thank you.
Mataji, this
Yes.
Harida, Chota Haridas Prabhu, where he is coming, Mataji? That is he a devotee actually, or simply acting like that, or why his name has become Chota Haridas? Haridas is different, no, Mataji.
Haridas Thakur, Namacharya Haridas Thakur is different, Mataji. This is another younger devotee with the same name, and that is why he is called Chota Haridas, Junior Haridas.
The name has been kept by whom, Mataji? By himself he has name, or like that they...
Not read about that, Mataji, whether why he is called Haridas.
Chota Haridas is coming, no?
Because he is younger, he is a younger devotee. He was a Kirtaniya in Mahaprabhu's devotee group. And he is the younger one. So there is Haridas Thakur separate, and then this devotee is called Junior Haridas because he was younger. Same name.
But he is not a pure devotee. That's why Mahaprabhu told not to come. Mataji is not a pure devotee.
Mataji, his position is very special. Mahaprabhu is teaching us through him, because we will read in the further verses what he does and how Mahaprabhu reciprocates with him. So we should not comment whether he is a pure devotee or not at this stage. His position is very special. As we read these verses, it will become clear, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Prabhuji
yes.
is not, Mahaprabhuji is not happy with Chota Haridas work. I mean, he begged and brought, no? So this is because he brought it from Madhavi Mataji, and or he brought fine rice. Or we are going to learn afterwards in this only.
Yeah, Mataji, the point Mahaprabhu is trying to convey is this meeting a woman intimately, like, alone.
Okay.
That's the point, They should not meet a woman alone. The devotees are going to say that this is not such a big offense. And then Mahaprabhu explains meeting alone is actually the problem. You should not have gone alone.
When they go to beg or ask, usually ladies only will, Matajis only will give them.
But they should not be alone. They should be in a group. The conversation, even with brahmacharis, it is advised that they should not have a conversation with Matajis alone. There should be someone else present.
Okay. So he was angry with him, I think.
Yes, Mataji. So to set the right etiquettes for devotional service.
Mataji, he was in the renounced order, no? That's what he says. He was a renounced order.
Yes, renounced order, and that's what I'm saying, that even not just sannyasis, even brahmacharis, Amoglila Prabhu, His Grace Amoglila Prabhu says that if somebody wants to talk, you call some other brahmachari also. At least it should be two people if a Mataji wants to talk. So this is the etiquette, correct etiquette, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat
Hare Krishna.
pranam.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat pranams.
Kalpatruvyascha kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Anantoti Vaishnavin ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Maharaj ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.